Hi everyone, this is Michele Rogers and I'm here with your Tuesday tune-up, and today I wanted to talk about sitting posture at your desk. So as you can see, I have sort of your traditional desk set up here, and a lot of people who work in offices might have these kinds of adjustable chairs that you see here with the wheels and all the fun levers that come underneath. So if you have any kind of back pain and even wrist pain, which comes up a lot for me as a trainer, people having a hard time doing push-ups because when they put pressure on their wrists, oh gosh, this hurts. A lot of the time that actually comes from forearm tightness. That's from typing all day at your computer. And a lot of our back problems come a lot from sitting incorrectly at your desk and sleeping and other things. But right now we're just going to talk about how we sit at our desks. So what you might find if ever you have looked into it is that you are supposed to sit with 90-degree angles at hips, knees, and elbows. So if you're typing, elbows are at 90 degrees. As you can see, there's pretty much a 90-degree angle in my hip and 90 degrees in my knees. That's all well and good in theory, but what I found is that most people don't actually apply that properly. So what we're really looking for, what's important, is that we keep a neutral spine. So what happens a lot of the time is we lean back. So you still feel like maybe you're at 90 degrees here, but now your spine isn't neutral anymore. We're going into what we call posterior pelvic tilt, which puts a lot of pressure on your spine, your abs release. Overall, no good. So what I'm suggesting, and this is what works for me in my bad back, is scooting forward, no matter what kind of chair you have, so that your butt is sort of sitting at the edge of the chair, your knees are dropping forward a little bit, as you can see, and your toes are resting on the floor with your heels in the air. They'll tell you feet flat. You can try that if your knees are low enough, but I find this is actually more comfortable. And now, I don't have to do any work. I don't have to lean back. I don't have to try very hard to hold my upper body straight. I'm engaging my core without thinking about it. I'm actually quite comfortable sitting like this. My back, as you can see, is neutral. It's not overextended and it's not tilted under. So that for me is what I suggest for people who have any kind of back problems. It also keeps your hips from tightening up too much, because that 90-degree angle, that'll tighten up your psoas muscle, that deep hip flexor muscle, which then pulls on your low back and creates sort of this chronic cycle of tightness. So this is my vote, this position. So now I'm going to roll over to the desk here and just, unfortunately, this is not the best height for me, so I am going to lift it up just for argument's sake here. Imagine I'm still pretty comfortably set with my upper body and my hips. I like the keyboard to be slightly below elbow level. So what happens is, if you're at 90 degrees and you're typing, your wrists are probably doing a lot of this overextension backwards. What we want is for your fingers to just be doing the typing and to be slightly below your elbow level. So that'll prevent a lot of tightening from happening in the forearms here. Same thing with your mouse. Make sure the mouse is in this nice, comfortable, closed position. If you're reaching too far, or if you've got it like crossed in front of you, you'll actually end up bothering the rotators in your mouse shoulder. So we want that to be sort of comfortable. That's why some people maybe even have an elbow rest or those mouse pads with the wrist rest. So those I'm all for. Just make sure you're not having a lot of movement in the shoulder and no movement through the wrist. And the last thing is that your height of your screen should be about eye level. This is just a tad too low for where I am. Pull it down a little bit. There we go. That's about right, so that you're not arching your neck back and you're not hunching forward. So if the screen is too low, you might end up pulling your chest forward and then losing that neutral spine. So that is my Tuesday tune-up tip for the day. Check back for me next week for some more posture tips. Thanks for joining me.